In fact, the first and the main question that you ask yourself as an AutoCAD learner is, how can I use these simple things for designing some complex plans for my future? And is it possible to use them for my constructional plans or architectural plans or even industrial plans? Of course, yes. Hello everybody and welcome to your own YouTube channel, the PaveCraft. I'm Alirza Alavi, your instructor, and I'm here to start a new session on learning AutoCAD. Please stay with me if you want to learn using some simple tools to design some complex plans. After opening the AutoCAD, you can see this view on your screen. And after entering the start drawing, you will enter to AutoCAD environment. The first thing that we should aware about it is our unit entire of the AutoCAD environment. After clicking on units, it will be open and I can change the scale and unit of the AutoCAD environment. I prefer to use meters for whole of my projects. The second part is related to use line entire of our AutoCAD designing as a simplest tool entire of AutoCAD. Okay, we can use this tool by click on here or type it on our screen or use the command line and right here. At the second step, I should specify my first point for start our line. Okay, I can draw different lines here. If I want to choose any lines, I can click on them and I can choose them individually. Also, there are different ways for choosing these lines as a collection. For example, I can drag on my screen and choose them. And also, by click on a screen and choose them by the different way, I can choose them. There are some difference between green and blue rectangulars. And as you can see, if I drag my mouse from right to left, I have the green rectangular, and if I drag it from left to right, it changed to blue one. There's some difference again. For example, if I want to have green rectangular and I drag on part of my lines, I can choose all of them. And if it become the blue rectangular, I should choose all of my favorite object to choose it and do my changes there. Now I have different lines here and I can choose them and do some changes there. And also we can draw our plans by using the PolyLine here. Its drawing is similar to line, but there are some difference between them. If you choose one part of PolyLine, you can change all of its properties. For example, as you can see, I just click on one part of this PolyLine and I choose all of them. But if I click on one part of line, I can make changes and I can choose just one part of it. Okay, now if I want to talk about the PolyLine more, after specifying the first point of your PolyLine, you can find different options here. After choosing one of them, for example, I want to choose the arc and write the A in my screen and push space or enter from my keyboard, I can use it. And if you want to finish your process, you can push space or enter again. Okay, after clicking on your PolyLine, you can find it as a PolyLine and with continuous lines and arcs. But if you want to draw some straight lines after some arcs, you can choose the other option. Okay, For example, I want to draw some straight lines after my arcs here, for example, and now I push and write the L on my screen, and now I have a straight lines here. As you can see, I have a continuous polyline included straight lines and arcs with each other. Now if I want to change my polylines to some different lines and arcs, I can choose this polyline and write explode here. And as you can see, I have different lines and arcs with each other. I can use some different process on them. On the other hand, if you want to change line to polyline, you can choose your different lines here and write join on your screen. And now I have a polyline here. Now I want to remove all of my lines and polylines and arc from my screen and make it more clean. So I choose all of them and push delete on my keyboard. Okay, at the next step, I want to draw some circle here. As the simplest way for drawing circle, I can choose it here or find my favorite type of circle by click on this. After choosing your circle and specifying the center of your circle, you can change its radius, for example, to 500 meters. If you want to continue your previous process that you've done, you can push space on your keyboard and continue it as well as it is possible. But there are some difference between using remove and trim on your AutoCAD projects, which is related to area that they can remove. By using delete on your keyboard, you remove all of this circle. But if you use trim on your screen, you can delete some part of it, which is really necessary and important for designers that they want to rehearse some part of their drawings or plans and they want to make their plans cleaner. Now I want to draw a simple plan by using the simple tools that I talked about them to establish and escalate what I talked and learned in this session. At the middle of this video, I want to ask you please subscribe us and like this video if you like it and if you want to learn more software for your technical major. Thank you.
Rise up beer and bring the wine-filled cup. Cast dust upon the sorrow time builds up. Place the wine goblet in my hand so I may strip this blue cloak of hypocrisy. Though wise men call it shame and infamy, we seek not pride nor name but ecstasy. Pour the wine, enough of vain progress. Dust upon this futile self and death. Smoke from the sides, within my aching chest, has burned these cold, unripe hearts without rest. No confidant I find, not high nor low.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe our channel and like this video and make us informed about your ideas through the comments. Have a good time. Bye bye.